Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming, a fierce critic of Attorney General nominee Eric Holder's record on Second Amendment rights. Senator Barrasso says he won't vote to confirm Holder. That vote, by the way, is expected to go before the full Senate tomorrow. Senator Barrasso joins us tonight from Capitol Hill. Senator, good to have you with us.
Good to be with you again, Lou.
Senator, this is extraordinary because, as I was just saying to our Bill Tucker, I'd like to be able to say to people there's no reason for concern here, but the evidence suggests otherwise, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And I was in Casper, Wyoming this past weekend, the gun show, absolutely loaded with people. I just left 3 sheriffs from Wyoming who are here in the nation's capital for a big meeting, and the number of people applying for concealed weapon permits has skyrocketed. But I think there is grounds for concern because of Eric Holder's record. When he was Deputy Attorney General, the things that he's written, his stand that basically says that the Second Amendment doesn't apply to individuals, Lou, but it only applies to a well-regulated militia. And on that, I fundamentally disagree. Right. And the people of our nation need to know that the Second Amendment means the things that we know it to mean. It applies to individuals, right. And I'm going to vote against him.
Well, you know, the Second Amendment, like the other 9 in our Bill of Rights, are all individual rights. So the argument for militia is tortured in its reasoning at the very best of the Supreme Court upholding the individual right. But I'd like to read to you and to our audience something that Mr. Holder said during his Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. He stated that gun control is not on the Obama administration's agenda. He said, quote, "I have no intention, this administration has no intention of doing anything that would affect a state's regulation of firearms, who can carry a firearm, under what circumstances. There is nothing that we have discussed, nothing that is in planning, nothing that I can imagine that we're going to be doing in that regard." What is your reaction?
Agendas can change on an instant, and so can intentions. And that's why I've come out against Mr. Holder. I think he's absolutely wrong. He has a long history from his days as Deputy Attorney General under Janet Reno and his writings. He's been against gun shows. He's been wanted a limit of 1 gun per month. Just look at this administration. The application form, one of the questions to apply to work for the administration, do you own any guns? What are their registration numbers? Well, mine aren't registered. You know, when was it last fired? Have there been any accidents with the guns? What have you shot it at? I mean, this is clearly not the philosophy of people that believe in the Second Amendment rights and individual choice and decisions.
It is extraordinary, and I have to say that Eric Holder sounded a bit, there was a little lawyerese in his statement, it seemed to me, when he said that the administration has no intention of doing anything that could affect a state's regulation of firearms. You know, this is not a place to be. You know, have you heard from the Obama administration? Has there been any response on the part of this administration to your concerns and those of other senators and congressmen on this clearly important issue to millions, and I think to the Republic itself, but to millions of Americans?
I've not heard anything from the administration, but I hear a lot from the people of Wyoming. And in Wyoming, we're a group of people that say, let us alone, leave our land alone, leave our water alone, and leave our guns alone. We know what our Second Amendment rights mean, and I'm going to be back in Wyoming again this weekend talking to more folks from Wyoming and defending our rights for our Second Amendment rights.
Senator Barrasso, thank you very much for being with us here. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Lou.